We're telling a chapter of American history when American citizens of Japanese ancestry were imprisoned in barbed wire prison camps simply because we looked like the people that bombed Pearl Harbor. There were no charges, no trial, simple incarceration. We tell the story of this community that comes, a Japanese-American community that comes from Terminal Island in Los Angeles Harbor. They're imprisoned in this prison camp. The focus is on a family where there is generational tension as well, the immigrant generation and their American-born generation. And the core story is of a love story between the son in that family and a Mexican-American girl in a prison camp, barbed wire prison camp, guarded over by U.S. military, barbed wire fence, sentry towers, guns pointed at them. Spine tingling. He is the oldest member of the community that came from Terminal Island, and he's regarded as a person of wisdom and wit as well, a community sage. But when we are imprisoned, we're all in this together. We don't know what's going to happen the next 10 minutes. Guns are being pointed at you. At night, searchlights are following us. We don't know what might happen in the next hour, next day. And so everyone is uncertain and fearful of what's going to happen. And his role as the wise man is no longer there. He's one of the community. The generational difference, and particularly the father and son tensions. The immigrant generation came to this country with hope and aspirations, but now they're being treated like animals and imprisoned. And the son, who was born here and asserts his Americanism, his desire to be seen as a loyal American. And so there's not only a natural generational tension between the immigrant parents and the American-born child, but wartime in a prison camp. And he's in love with someone who's not Japanese-American, a Mexican-American. I have been active in spreading the story of our incarceration, unjust incarceration, for most of my life, my adult life. I helped found a museum called the Japanese American National Museum, but in order to tell the story emotionally, we developed a musical about the internment called Allegiance. We played it on Broadway. I've written many books on the internment story, and just last week, my graphic memoir aimed at young people, because we want to reach the next generation of Americans with this story when they are absorbing in information and keeping it in their body for the rest of their lives. We want to develop Americans who know this story, and so this graphic memoir is aimed at the young people, and this 10-part, 10-episode miniseries, first time, groundbreaking, 10 hours to tell the story, and to tell it over a 10-week period. Great opportunity to go in depth, and I'm proud to be associated with it on a landmark production. I'm a survivor of this. I was a child then, but I have studied this. I have talked with people, and particularly my father as a teenager, after dinner conversations. We founded a museum, and I've had the opportunity to talk to scholars about this. So I've spent my life raising the awareness of this chapter of American history, because so many Americans don't know this. I'm always shocked when I share the story of my childhood imprisonment with someone that I consider well-informed, well-read person, and he's shocked. And I'm shocked that he's shocked that he is ignorant of this chapter of American history. So it's been my mission in life to participate in the raising of the awareness of an important and yet too little known and less understood chapter of American history. The imprisonment itself was a harrowing experience, but we don't want to do a documentary. We want to grip the audience and hold them for 10 weeks, and we hope to build that audience. And so we took it's not something that's fused on, pasted on. It's organic to the immigrant generation that came to this country with their old country beliefs, with their faiths, with their lore, with their superstitions. And so we incorporate that. And so the extant organic terror of being abused and imprisoned unjustly can be intensified by their superstitions and beliefs. And so we tell a fantastical story that's based in an actual chapter of American history. The Terror Infamy tells a story that you will not see on any other television show. This chapter of American history where innocent people were imprisoned because of our race and abused. All our fortune and property was taken from us, bank accounts frozen, homes lost, business lost, and then, with no charges, imprisoned for the duration of the war. And we tell this story as a horror story, because indeed it was a horror story. And we will be gripped as well as enlightened, as well as emotionally spent after the 10 weeks.